try to be honest and keep it modest, but the longer that I live, it's becoming a harder process. I'm famous and so gone, my favorite's the slow song. Cause it just feel like heartbreak, but they finish it so strong. In my own lane, but I flirt with that fine line. The top my destination, high stepping like prime time. My women, they get better with age, and I like fine wine. Had a couple crazies, that's worse than a ticking time bomb. I be in meetings and random numbers be calling me. She be like, my friend used to talk to you, you stalking me. That's why I deal with people that's cut from the same cloth as me. Put that phone down and I'm asking like what that offer be. Keep that money coming, bruh, get it here on time. Stay away from suckers that be hating from behind. Lot of baby dames in the streets dropping dimes. If that went above your head, learn to read between the lines.
What's good, Lethal Team? I'm back with another video, and today we're going over our very first film study. Before we get started, I just want y'all to know that when we go through film study, don't take anything I say personally. It's just to help you improve and to help us all improve as a team. If you see something while we playing and you don't really agree with it, bring it up in the group chat, bring it up before we play team games, bring it up in the rec so we can discuss it and we all have a better understanding for each other. The big thing about film study is like the teams that do it and understand the way each other play, they make it easier for the people around them. Alright, so if I say something like your IQ is high, that's what I mean. You have a high IQ. If I say your IQ is low, I'm not saying you suck or you trash or you sorry. Trust me, if you was one of those, I wouldn't play with you, period. All I'm saying is you could be better at something than where you're currently at. And that's the big thing I go over in film study, alright? In today's film study, as you can see, is me, Dynasty, Cincy, T-Will, and RDH Hulk. I'm currently going to be playing center. I'm going to play point guard on offense, and I'm going to play center on defense. When I do film study, I'm only going to go over one quarter. I'm not going to go over the entire game. I just like to pick the quarter that I felt like was the difference maker. Talk about, what we did good, mostly what we did bad, and how we can improve from it the next time out. Because the thing about the team is it might not be that same five every single time we play. And the reason why I picked this game is because this was our toughest game so far. I know the first game that we played as a team, the score was closer. But to be honest, that team was very similar to this one. And honestly, if those two teams played each other, I feel like this one would win. Alright, so that's why I'm going over this gameplay. We're going to go over the second quarter. As you see us playing against Lagging 4 PR. If you haven't got a chance to watch that full game, if you weren't a part of it, Capone and Dev, it's in the group chat. You can watch the game, see what we did differently, and then compare your notes to the film study. As you see right now, this is the five. Like I said, I'm going to be playing point center, which means I'm going to play point guard on offense, I'm going to play center on defense, but nothing really changes about the offense or the defense. Today we're going to be doing a box and one defense. Which is very effective because we don't have the size of having Capone or Dev out there on the floor. And this is the team going up against very solid group. They play 5-out basketball. Defensively, I couldn't really tell what they was in, but let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so coming out, start of the second quarter, you see we're down by 2. Go ahead, freeze it here. At this point in time of the game, you see we're setting up into the 5-out. I cannot tell what defense that they're in. The big thing for me is because their defense was so unorthodox, it made it hard for me to make certain decisions. Right now I have T-Will wide open. I also have Dynasty open. And as we try to move the ball around when we miss open shots, it's going to make it more difficult for me to do what I'm trying to do. So as the play continues, you're going to see me kick the T-Will. You see how quickly the defense recovers. He kicks it back. Freeze it here. At this point, this is the time where I'm trying to perform ace. Although, yes, Dynasty technically does have the point guard on him, I'm looking for T-Will to cut right here. Why? Because the dude is pressing up way too high. T-Will would have an easy back door, and it keeps this guy over here in the corner occupied. If Dynasty cuts through, this guy can help. If he stays put and T. Will cuts through, he has to stay home on Cincy. Alright, makes sense? If it doesn't, it's fine. You will see what I'm talking about as the play continues. So as the play continues, Dynasty cuts through. You see the big man pick him up. Now when T-Bill goes down there, he's challenged by the big man. At this point, Dynasty is going to do what he's supposed to do by posting up the little guy. But as you see, every time they went to the paint, the big man is there to help. They force 24 seconds. That's why it's important to know who's supposed to cut and why they're supposed to do it. Once T-Will gave me the ball, he should have just did ace and we would have been good. Defensively, Dynasty did a great job hounding the ball handler as you see him pick up a backcourt violation. And he did that all game in the box of one, which was tremendous. The big thing that I did for us as a team is instead of me trying to initiate the offense because we wasn't really knocking down shots, I allowed Cincy to bring the ball up and play aggressive. You see right here again, the pressure by Dynasty picks up another backcourt violation. And by putting the ball in Cincy hands as opposed to me, it allowed him to truly ISO, as you're going to see me wait for Cincy to give him the ball. The big thing for Cincy is I want him to go after the defense is set. Alright? You cannot run plays until your defense is set. If too many people are moving at one time, it's going to make it more difficult to score. So like I said, defensively, Dynasty was all over the ball handler. We did a great job of just playing scrappy. Dynasty's going to knock down a wide open three here. And as you can see, this is kind of like the big momentum change I was talking about in the game because they was beating us the first quarter. At this point, Dynasty is doing a great job of covering up. And we did a great job of just trying to force them to do what we wanted them to do. At this point in the boxing one, T-Will was expecting Dynasty to step completely over because he's on the left side. And at that point, T-Will was expecting to run out to the corner as Dynasty contested the layup. That's one thing we got to get better at. It's not going to be perfect all the time. The hop step is hard to guard, but that's what he was expecting in the situation. When it didn't happen, they got a wide open bucket. Coming back down on offense, like I said, yes, I ran point guard, but I allowed Cincy to do his thing. Again, Cincy needs to wait for the offense to set before he tries to make his move. Go ahead, freeze it here. At this point, like I said, I would expect Cincy to cut because it keeps that man right here in the corner occupied to where he can't help. But Dynasty did a great job of reading the offense. You're going to see T-Will take this alleyway to the basket. Notice that he cuts in front and not behind. And he's going to be able to have an option to score or kick it to me in the corner. You know, if the defense is late, he scores. If they're there, he can make the early pass. So, as T-Will rolls through, defense is late, he's going to get an easy bucket. So that's a great call by Dynasty. I love seeing everybody else improve in passing and improve in play calling. It takes the pressure off of me to do so. Getting back on defense here, again, we're in this boxing one. So, like, I understand we're in the boxing one right here. I'm going to pick up the point guard. And when he doesn't have none, he kicks it back out. Go ahead and freeze it here. At this point, this is just a high-level IQ thing. For Dynasty, I would much rather guard 24 than guard number 1. I get that we're all in the same size and stuff, but since we're in this box, it puts me at a position to better protect the rim by guarding the bigger player. Alright, as you see this goes through, I'm expecting to switch out with Dynasty here. As you see him bite up for a second, I'm running completely over there to the other man. When he didn't switch, it caused me to be in no man's land. As you see, I'm just running around in the paint. I ain't have nowhere to go. I do expect that switch. Just because we're in zone. If we was man to man, then hey, I would have just stayed there. But since we were in zone, I expect that switch to happen. In boxing one, Cincy, Dynasty, and RDA Chalk, your guys' job is to swarm to the perimeter. Me and T-Will will protect the paint. So as you see right here, they get a wide open shot, but they can't knock it down, and you see all the momentum that we're having. Go ahead and slow it down one more time because I'm explaining what happened on this fast break. RDA Chalk, you have to show the lob first. This is what Dynasty is looking for. This is why I do film study. If you showed a lob first, he would have had a chance to stop, back out to the three-point line, and possibly start the play. When you ran completely to the corner, he has no choice but to go up because that's where all his momentum is going. It's easy to say no, he could have stopped, but trust me, when you're in game and your momentum is going and you expected something, you do things like this. He possibly just tried to pump fake there, which is why I said very early, but he's expecting you to show the lob first. All right? And when you don't do things like that, we take bad shots, they get out on the break, they get open shots. All right? I always tell you, I show the lob, then go to the corners. Remember, when you run on the fast break, you're running for your teammates, not just yourself. Right here for Cincy, notice how you get into the paint, and y'all will see this occur a lot when we're playing because of the way we play. You got into the paint. This man helps. You have Dynasty wide open into the corner. All right? You could possibly throw it my way, but the guy's sitting in the passing lane, but you can clearly see Dynasty's wide open, ready to shoot. Getting better at being a ball handler, make this pass. When you don't, like I say, take a bad shot, they get out on the break. You know, they're going to work the ball around. They end up taking a bad shot. And we get a bucket because of their bad shot. But, you know, if there was a little bit better team, they had a great opportunity to score on the fast break. Coming back and down. As you see, the boxing one in full effect now. The one thing I like about boxing one is that it is not a man-to-man defense. All right? And man-to-man, you will see a lot of switching and things like that. Here it is again, Cincy coming back down. He's waiting for the defense to set. As he clears out, you will see how what I was just telling Cincy, it occurs a lot for our team because they have no choice but to help. They either going to give up this layup, and because you hate to give up easy buckets, like I tell you all the time, the easier the two, the more threes you're going to give up. So since you can't give up easy twos, that's why people get wide open threes. All right, so same thing for Cincy. Make that read next time. It makes you a better playmaker. It keeps your team involved. Right here, I'm forced to miss, and as you can see, the entire fourth quarter, we did a great job of just playing solid defense, sticking to our zone, and me making an adjustment to allow Cincy to set up. Right here, as you see me moving, as we replay it, me moving instead of Cincy waiting for me to set is why this happened. If he would have allowed me to set, he would have got the high step and known he would have been open. But since I was moving, it allowed my man to move down to the paint. He got nervous, tried to kick it to the wide open man. All right. Like I said, it's just something to look at, something to improve upon. All in all, this second quarter was a big quarter for us because it allowed us to gain some momentum. It allowed us to get stops. As you can see, it was pretty much all over everything. The team felt uncomfortable. We swarmed where we were supposed to swarm. People did a good job of rotating in their zone. You know, every time they got to the rim, somebody was there to challenge, forcing them to take bad shots. And we killed them the second quarter. When you play good defense, you're able to run the floor, get wide open shots. And it was just beautiful. So that's going to be it for today's film study. I hope everybody learned something. For the people that wasn't playing, watch this. Figure out where you can get better. It's been Lethal. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.